welcome back to another video. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. Today I've got another Game Boy Color that we're going to fix. This one doesn't go at all. It's got lots of issues with it. But what I am going to do, we're going to fix this one on video, and then at the end of it I'm going to give this away to one of my subscribers when it's finished. So watch till the end of the video. I'll tell you how you can score this when it's all fixed. And I don't care where you are in the world, I'll send it to you for free as well. So yeah, let's get into it. Okay, well, here we are back on the blue mat. First thing we'll look at, I've put some batteries in it. Yeah, so first thing we're going to do is fix the power switch, because obviously it looks like it wants to go. There we go. So we've got a dicky power switch. We've got no sound. No sound. And then we'll grab a cartridge. There we go, it's loading a cartridge all right. Okay, that's working up and down. Well, the buttons are okay, they do feel a bit, yeah, not quite working like they should. So obviously what we'll do is we'll get stuck into it, we'll pull it apart. We know we've got to fix the power switch, we know we've got an issue with the volume. So what we'll do is we'll check all of that. This screen looks a bit funny too, so what I'll do is I'll replace the front screen on it as well with a new one. But we'll keep the original shell, quite like the see-through one. It has got sort of a little bit of colour fading, but I think that's it's all part of the character of the game. So yeah, let's get this thing apart, obviously with the 6 tri-wing screws, 2 underneath the battery. We'll get that done now. Right, screws are out, so of course we just pull the back off, put them aside. Yeah, she's pretty tidy in here. We've got no battery leakage, which is great. So obviously we've just got a few things we've got to sort. One of them is we've got to pull the top off the switch. We've got to fix that switch. It's obviously very, very dirty. So we might do that first before we take the board out and clean on the other side of here. So let's get our soldering iron heated up and let's get the switch done. Okay, the iron's good to go. So again, we've just got to get our little tweezers underneath here. This is the tricky part. Is heating up one end of the switch while trying to lever this top plate off without ripping the switch off, which is what I usually end up doing. But yeah, let's just try and get this thing off here. The fiddly as, but if we can get it off without pulling the switch off, it's really, really handy. That one doesn't want to. Oh, there goes the switch. Well, let me find the switch and we will put that back on there. Okay, so it just shows, do YouTube videos and stuff happens, especially like that. But I found the switch, it was just on the floor. Funny thing is, it's still got the little cover on it, so we just got to try and get that off. It's actually stuck on there really, really well. They should just come off. There we go. And then we can see that that is very dirty in there. So let's give that a clean and then we can pop it back on the board. So yeah, just another one of these things. Bit of isopropyl alcohol on there. And just get the thing looking how it's meant to look, nice and shiny. No dirt or anything on it. Like so. Let's grab another one. Just spray some isopropyl alcohol on it. That's all you've got to do really, is just get all that dirt and grime out of there on those switch plates. and flick this over and do the same again with these little terminals, just gently. Gotta be careful with these. I have done one of these where I've pushed a bit too hard and that little gold bit's flying off, and I've never found it. Goodness knows where it went. So let's just do that. Cool, that's done. And what we'll do now is we'll get the switch back on the board. Right, now I've got the switch sitting there. I've just got to hold it in place. And what we'll do first is we'll just tack the ends on. Just get these soldered on first, just to hold our switch down before we put the cover on. And then I'm just going to just gently tack these back on here. It's not holding very well. One there. One there. And the comment. Cool. And they don't actually use that terminal there for number 2 terminal for some reason, so I'm not really worried about that one. It's just that one, and that one that we need to use. And then what we do now is get our switch, pop them back on there, and then get our cover. Pop the cover on, and make sure it's sitting in there, and then just solder each end of that cover on, which I'll do now. Okay, I've soldered that back on now. So I've just got the bench power supply with 3 volts. Let's just see if we've got the power switch sorted. Oh, look at that. Every time now. So that's all it was, just very, very dirty. Yep, that's good. Okay, that's that bit sorted. Now let's get on to the sound issue. And the first thing we'll do before we start replacing any components is we're going to check this piece here, the headphone socket again. I've showed you in previous videos how if this piece along here is not touching this piece here, it can cause the speaker not to work because it thinks there's a plug in the socket. So we'll get the multimeter and we'll test that first. Right, so what I've done, I've got the microscope there. I thought I'd zoom down on it just so you can see. So this point here and this bar here need to make contact when there's no plug in the audio socket. It's quite common that it gets a bit of corrosion and that in there, and it stops it from working. And what it does is it thinks there's a plug in there and turns the speaker off. So all you do is you put one point on here and one point on here, and we should have contact, which we do. So at least we know it's not this. So now we've got to look at the other issues. The other issues could be the volume pot is dirty, so we'll give that a clean next. And then the next thing we'll do is we'll look at changing the capacitor, and then the last thing we'll do is look at changing the speaker. So if we have a look at that's the capacitor we change if we need to change it. This one here, that's the audio capacitor, and that's quite easy to change. And the volume pot here, if we need to clean it, we just spray isopropyl alcohol underneath it. So what we'll do is we'll spray that now, and then we'll test it and see if there's any sound, and if there's not, then we'll look at replacing the capacitor here, and then if we've got no sound, we'll look at replacing the speaker. Okay, so I've sprayed that. Get rid of that. So I've sprayed the volume pot, just hooked up our 3-volt power supply again. Make sure it's turned up. We've got sound, but it's very quiet. Okay, it's very quiet, so I am going to swap out the capacitor as well, which is just nice and easy to do with a 100 UF SMD ceramic type capacitor. So I'll do that now, and then we'll test it again. Okay, I've removed the old one here, and I'm just using the microscope again so I can show you. So all I do is I just put a little bit extra solder on there, each side, and just get one of these little SMDs, just pop it on there. Oh, shaky. Probably because I'm trying to do it backhanded. Just turn this around a bit. Might be a bit easier now. Just get one end on, and then you can usually just put a blob of solder on and away you go. There you go, done. So that's that sorted on there. Let's give it a quick another test. Righty-ho. Got my bench power supply back on, 3 volts. Make sure volume's turned up. Right, let's test it now. Oh, that's way better. You can actually hear the crackle of it when it starts now too. Yep, that is way better. That's all it was. Obviously the capacitor was on its way up, the old one here, so it can go in the bin. What we'll do now, turn off the power supply, is we need to undo these 3 screws here, 1, 2, 3 Phillips screws, pop the ribbon cable out, turn it over, and we've got to find out why the buttons aren't quite working like they should be. So let's do that. Screws are undone. I've popped up the black bits there, popped the ribbon cable out. Let's lift that out, get that out of the way. Oh yeah, we can see here there's a lot of residue, like rubber residue on the pads. So we'll give those a good clean. Speaker needs a good clean as well. So we just get our isopropyl alcohol, get some Q-tips or cotton buds, and just really clean that up. Get it looking much better than what it is now. Okay, I've cleaned all those up. They've come up really well. But I've noticed here that even on the other side of the rubbers here are really dirty. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pop all these out anyway, because I need to clean. I mean, look at that. That's just fluff and rubbish on it. I really need to clean up all of these. I want to clean the buttons, give everything a good wash, take the screen out, which is just a matter of doing this. Screen's good, but I don't like how the screen has gone here, so I'm going to pop that out and put in a new screen. So I'll pop it out first, give everything a really good wash, a good clean up, do the back as well. Yeah, I'll do everything, do the whole back as well, and then we'll come back to it and start reassembling it. Actually, I've just had a look at the screen again before I popped it out, and it had a protective cover on it. That's what made it look so bad, and I just peeled it off, and the screen is actually immaculate underneath. So all I need to do is just clean up around the edges, but clean the rest of this, and we'll still have the original Game Boy Color screen, which is great. So let's go and wash them up. Right, it's come up really, really well. Nice and clean. The screen's come up well, as good as it can be, actually. Looks pretty good. So all we've got to do now is put everything back together. Pull our buttons back in. B button. A button. Cleaned up the rubbers as well. I just haven't cleaned up the little magnetic pieces on this side, which I'll do before I slap it all back together. Let's get all those bits in. So I'll just get cotton bud again, just a bit of isopropyl alcohol on that, and just quickly do these little bits. Like so. Done. And what we've got to do now is we've got to pop our screen back in. We'll make sure we've got no dust or anything there. Get our little blower. Make sure that's all clean. And pop them back in. Right, now we've just got to put the board in. Okay, so our board just goes in the same way it came out. And just slide the ribbon cable in, push down these little tabs. And get our speaker in place, and everything else should just line up. There we go. So we'll just put our 3 Phillips screws back in, and then we'll get on to putting the back on. Okay, just before I put the back on, I want to give it a quick test. So I've put the 3-volt benchtop power supply back on, put a game in there, make sure the volume's turned up. It's working. Buttons are working. Ooh, don't like the sound of that. I think their speakers are gonna listen to that. Yeah, that's not flash. Let's swap out that speaker with a new one. Yeah, it's bad. Let's do that. I'll grab one. I've got aftermarket ones. I'll chuck one in now. Okay, take 2. There's the old speaker. Doesn't look bad, but obviously something's wrong with it because it sounded terrible. Aftermarket speakers put in place. Hooked it all back up again. Make sure our volume is turned up. Let's give it a go. Way better. Right. Turn that off. So now we know we can slap this thing all back together now. So it's just a matter of putting in our little piece up here for the IR sensors. And don't forget your power switch. Give that a little bit of a clean. Power switch on. Done. And then we get our back. Just pop our back on there. Right, so I'll button that back up with the 6 screws, put some batteries in and give it another test, and then we're good to go. Right, that's all done. Batteries in, game's back in. We should be good to go. Very good at it. Bit hard when I'm trying to look at the camera and the game at the same time, but that's working well. Happy with that. What I'll do is I will chuck a Game Boy Color game in, because this is just a Game Boy game, and we'll quickly try that. Right, there's a Game Boy Color game. We'll try and get it as best as I can without too much reflection for you. Yeah, that's working fine. Oh, that's perfect. Okay, so there you have it. Another Game Boy Color saved. And like I said at the start of the video, I'm going to give this one away to one of my subscribers. So what you need to do on this video and the next one, because I'll give it 2 weeks, just comment below, tell me why you would like it, and what I'll do is I'll get a randomizer thingy to just go through all the comments and randomly pick a person, and I'll get in touch with you and let you know in 2 weeks time. And then what we can do is you can give me your address and I will send you this Game Boy Color, just as a thank you for being a subscriber and for following me. And it won't be the first giveaway. I'm going to do plenty of these because I've got so much stuff and my wife tells me I need to get rid of some stuff. So let's do it. So give it a thumbs up if you like it. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. And like I said, if you are subscribed and if you just do subscribe today after you watch this, comment on it and you could win this. But yeah, we'll see you in the next one.